Ladies and gentlemen, many of you have been asking me for my workflow to create crazy, viral, what I call AI slop. Now, I'm going to show you a technique you've probably heard about called JSON Prompt for VEO3. All right. Now, JSON prompting, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what JSON is, it is basically a form for language, particularly code, because it stands for JavaScript object notation. All right. But it's essentially a means of creating prompts just like this that is extremely machine readable, but also very descriptive. And it's very good as well. So you can go in and just customize one different thing about the prompt in a very easy manner. Now, I could go on and on about that, but you guys aren't interested in that. So let's break down this workflow. First and foremost, it all stems from an idea in your mind. All right. I don't care what your opinions are on AI. You can't make good anything if you don't have ideas, with or without AI. First and foremost, you need to have an idea. Now, this idea stemmed from something I saw on Twitter of a cat wearing grills. So I had that idea. So I just thought, okay, I want to create a cat with grills on a pool party, holding a bottle of Chardonnay, or in this instance, Catier, wearing sunglasses, all iced out, all dripped out. The works. So I created first an image, and I used AI Studio to do this with Imagen, whatever you pronounce this as. Imagen, okay? Google's image gen. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, you can use Perplexity, whatever you want. However, Midjourney, especially, at least at the time of recording, this is really good. Whatever image generator you want to use to generate your initial idea. And you don't have to, but I like to think of this as your starting frame. All right. So once you get your frame, then you can go into either ChatGPT or whatever transformer or LLM you like to use to create the prompt for you. So what I've done is I've actually created a JSON prompter to create these prompts for me using just two inputs, the primary subject or action and the location or set. So all I did was describe the cat that I generated an image of, and then the location in which the cat is residing. So a pool party. So to give you an example, I just have a basic prompt right here, a hyper-realistic cinematic selfie shot of a cat exuding extreme luxury at a vibrant rooftop party, blah, 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 at night, location, setting. We'll just cut this out right here. So we're just cutting that location / setting portion out of that prompt. You don't really need to, because this uses Gemini Pro 2.5. So I've made it extremely smart. And then you can go in here and you can input all this other stuff if you want. We don't really need to. But for style reference, I'm just going to do cinematic realism just so it knows exactly that we want it to be realistic looking. We don't want it to be animatronic looking or create furries, because it's done that before. And yeah, you can go in here, change the camera movement, etc. Like I said, we're not interested in that. So we're just going to hit continue, and then it's going to generate. All right, and just like that, we have a JSON prompt. So we can go in here and we can just read it. So to break down real quick how this works, if you have no idea what JSON is or what it does, it breaks down each piece of the prompt. So within here, we have a few elements. So first and foremost, we have the shot, okay? And within the shot, we have composition, camera motion, frame rate, and film grain. Wasn't moving my fingers, whatever. And then for the composition, it has a description. So it's basically describing each element of the prompt individually. That way it's easy for the AI model to actually know what to create for each element, but it's also easier for us, because if we just want to change something like the time of day, then we just go into here and we just change this one element and everything stays the same. And this is really good for character consistency. As you can see, there's character consistency right there. A luxurious white Persian cat with a diamond collar and blue eyes. So just like that, we have everything that we need to generate a good output. So we're going to just copy that. Then we're going to go up here. Yeah, this is, this is what I was talking about with like the animatronic looking shit. Terrible. But we're just going to paste that in right here. And we're going to do text to video, or if you do generate an image, and real quick, you can also test this prompt in here. And I've noticed that the JSON prompting works decently with Imagine, but not as good as VEO3. So you can see right there, this is a good way to kind of see what output you're going to get. And like I said, the output you'll get from the video model with JSON prompting is much better than the output you'll get from the image model with JSON prompt. But this is a good way to go in here, test your prompt, make sure that it is at least somewhat aligned to your vision, and then you can go in and use VEO3 because VEO3 is expensive. So you don't want to just burn through your credit. But this looks good. So I'm just going to go in here, text to video, and then we're just going to wait for that. And just to show you guys exactly how this looks, I'm going to take that same initial prompt right here that I used in addition to this part, and then I'm just going to throw it in here as well. So very basic prompt. This is a prompt that 99% of people use, and I just want to show you guys the difference between JSON prompting and regular prompting. And while we wait for that, I'm just going to show you some of the other reels that I've created using this exact method that have gone viral, this one being my most popular. Very disgusting, very intriguing, very engaging, very polarizing, and in turn, very viral worthy, similar to this one. Stuff that just makes you do that. Like, what the fuck? Pisses a lot of people off. That's why I call it AI slop, because it is AI slop. But this all stems from an idea. So once we get outputs that we like, we're going to create a composition, meaning that we're going to compile everything and then we're going to put it in a 9:16 format with a caption in the actual video itself, because this is one of the keys to virality. Because before they actually see the video, they have a preconceived notion of, hey, why should I buy organic? It generates some sort of curiosity, and it's not foolproof. This doesn't work every single time, but it works more than if you were to not have this. Okay, if it was just a video of someone holding an orange, you're going to lose a lot of attention. The first 3 seconds of any video is the most important. The hook. This is the hook right here, and it works doubly well if you have a hook in the actual video itself, which we don't have right here. So now with that out of the way, let's check out our videos. So JSON prompt. I don't know what's going on right there. So that one's not very good. So let's generate again. Because this one's good, even though it has a very basic prompt, but it is nowhere near what, because it wasn't as descriptive. Whereas this one had some interesting things going on. The screen is on the wrong side. The prompt adherency is good. It's just not great. So we'll regenerate that. And it is also worth noting, I just copy and pasted the prompt. Usually you want to go through the entire prompt and just read it and fine tune it. Since this is a tutorial, I'm not really doing that. All right, now let's do image to video. So we're just going to do frames to video right here. So now we're just going to upload that image right here, crop and save, and then we're going to use the same prompt, just like that. Let me just wait for that. Cool. So now we generate, and now this generation, it's good. It's not as hyper realistic as I'd want. So I'm assuming VEO will make it a little bit more realistic when we generate, but still, this is a very good image. It has everything that we want. There's no weird screen on the back here. We have the confetti in the background. We have the martini glass. The cat is waving. The cat looks good, wearing jewelry, and it's actually holding the phone properly. So image to video is definitely the way to go. And now I can go into more depth down the road with utilizing tools like Photoshop to get extremely accurate frames, but we're not going to do that in this tutorial. This is just an entire overview of the workflow. All right, let's see how this turned out. Not bad. It's really not great. And it is worth noting as well, if we just go down to the generations for this, like these were good. When I was creating all of these videos, I already knew the kind of video I was creating because I was creating a music video for music. I already had the song that I wanted to align this to. So that's what my vision was just really quick clip for this fast-paced song. So the entire video didn't need to be good. Each scene just needed to be different, and it needed to be good enough to have half a second to 1 second of each clip stitched together to get a result like this. So it depends on the result that you want to get. Mind you, this one took me like 2 hours to create, whereas something like this was 10 minutes. And this one went more viral than the cat one, but I had more fun creating the cat one than I did creating this, because this is fucking disgusting. And the cat one was just a lot more fun. I was dancing the whole time. So once you have all of the clips, or just your one clip, you're going to want to put it in a video editing platform. You could use CapCut, which I recommend just because it's free, it's easy, it's powerful, or you can use something like DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro. It doesn't matter. The reason why we're doing this is to, one, put it into this format, because if you're creating reels, which you most likely will be doing, putting it into this format where you have the 16:9 in the 9:16, so you have room for the caption right there, the hook. And also, I like to watermark my videos because I don't want people stealing my stuff without my permission. I'm just petty like that, I guess. So if you compile all your videos, and I guess real quick too, for this kind of video, I'll just show you my editing process and just show you what this looks. So we have the audio track, all right? So I made sure, and you'll want to do this as well, that the visual lines up with the audio. And by that, I mean every time there was a kick, I wanted there to be some change on the screen. And since this is a montage style, fast-paced party scene, I wanted the scene to change every time the kick, the bass hit, okay? So I went in, boom, 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 boom. And then there's a part where it's like boom, 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 right here, boom, boom, boom. So right there, it changes even faster. It lines up with the music. And this is key for anything regarding video production. You want the audio to line up with the video. So we have this, and now there are some scenes, like this one in particular, where I used the VEO3 audio, because all of these tracks had audio generated with them, and 90% of them were just not very good, just not aligned with what I want. And obviously, since I went into this with a vision, I already had the music that I wanted to create with it. I stuck with it. But this clip in particular, he's like, yeah, and that lined up perfectly with the song, okay? It's the perfect ad lib, so I just left it in there. Like this audio was extracted from this clip, so it just went perfect. But other than that, I extracted all the audio and deleted it except for the last part as well. So one more time. So yeah, very simple in practice. Like this is not fancy editing, you guys. This is extremely easy. It's just knowing what you want to create. And I guess they're like, other than just clipping, just trimming the clips, there are two effects. So I have a flash on this one here. So it's literally just a flash, boom, because I wanted to give the essence of this cat is taking a picture of himself, because there was no flash. There wasn't much going on in this image. He was just holding up his phone, and I wanted it to be more flashy, no pun intended. And then other than that, the only other post-processing I did, at least in this compound clip, was this cat right here was naked. So I just put a little blur over his dingling, and I'm surprised this made it through VEO3, because I didn't prompt that shit. He was just naked, dude, partying. So I had to trim that out, or rather cut that out, or cover it up. And then aside from that, I had a filter. So I just put a filter, added a little vignette so the edges of the video are darker, and then I just added a filter, and this one's called Humble, which you can go in here, type in Humble, and it's this one here. And I just turned the intensity down to 40. So just very, very subtle. So you can see I adjust the slider, the effects of the actual filter itself. But yeah, I just had it on 40 just to give it like a nice dark atmosphere with the vignette. And literally that's it, aside from the caption. And now the caption I did on my phone in the actual editor of the app, meaning TikTok and Instagram, because I feel like in some instances, those platforms like you to use their actual editing for stuff like that, for the algorithm. Whether or not that's factual, I don't think so. But for whatever reason, in my experience, that has been the case in some instances. So that's why I don't have any hooks right here. But to create a hook, very simple. Go to text, add text, default text, drag it in here, extend it all the way. And then right here, then the caption I had for this was POV, you left your cat at home. Just something stupid like that, you guys. It doesn't need to be great. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just like generate intrigue. That is the key. So if you generate intrigue, you have something uncanny or something that retains the viewer. And if the video is short enough to where it only takes 10 to 12 seconds for the viewer to watch 100% of it, that's really good for the algorithm. And this video in particular, I think, was at like a 250% average view rate, meaning that the average person who viewed this watched it 2.5 times before they went on to the next scroll. So again, in conclusion, you need an idea, whether it's something you see online that you want to recreate, or if it's something that's stuck in your brain, or if there's a song that you hear that you want to create a visual for. It doesn't matter, but you need an idea. AI can never replace your idea. Ideas are invaluable. You need an idea, and then bring that idea to life, either with a prompt alone or with an image that you generate using a prompt. And again, you can refine the prompt using the image. And then you generate your videos using VO3 or video, depending on which route you're going. And then you compile everything into a video editor, use this format with a caption right here. And this is how you go viral. But you need to be consistent, okay? Every single day, upload a video just like this, and you'll go viral. It's that simple. So my friends, this was a long one. Hopefully you get some value in this. Join my free community, the RPG, down in the description below, and share your wins. Okay, there's a ton of resources in there, including prompts that you can use for this method. Again, 100% for free in the community. Join, like the video, subscribe, and have fun with this. Okay, life's too short not to enjoy what you do. So my friends, I appreciate you watching this. And until next time, as always, I'll see you in the next video.